Hey everybody, it's Jess. I wanted to share something that really encouraged me from prayer this morning, and I believe it's going to encourage you. It was something that the Lord showed me out of Acts 27 in the story about Paul and the shipwreck and on his journey with the people that God placed him with. It's this wild story of not knowing, are they going to make it? What's going to happen? They're full of fear. They haven't seen the sun in a few days. And Paul gets this word from the Lord that says, he tells the people he's with, for this very night, an angel of the God to whom I belong and whom I serve stood before me and said, "Stop being afraid, Paul. You must stand before Caesar. And behold, God has given you the lives of all those who are sailing with you." And he says, so keep up your courage, men, for I believe God and have complete confidence in him that it will turn out exactly as I have been told. But we must run the ship aground on some island. So they go on this journey. They end up crashing the ship. They lose the ship, but the people survive. And they end up safe at this island called Malta. And what's so phenomenal about this story is they're with the natives of the island. They're building a fire. Paul is helping to get the sticks, and he gets wrapped up with a viper. And so it says, but when Paul had gathered a bundle of sticks, laid them on a fire, a viper crawled out because of the heat and fastened itself on his hand. When the natives saw the creature hanging from his hand, they began saying to one another, "Undoubtedly, this man is a murderer. And though he had been saved from the sea, justice has not permitted him to live." Then Paul simply shook the creature off into the fire and suffered no ill effects. But they stood watching and expecting him to swell up or suddenly drop dead. But after they had waited a long time and had seen nothing unusual happen to him, they changed their minds and began saying that he was a god. So what's interesting about this, and something the Lord showed me, is Paul was so confident back on the ship and back in all the encounters that God has spoken to him. He was so confident in the word that the Lord spoke that he could just shake off any attack or any little thing that tries to jump on him or bite him, and I think that's something so key for us to know in our lives, is we have to ignore the rumble and the murmuring of other people and other things that are being said about what we're about to go through or why we're going through this. It's not always because we did something wrong. It's sometimes God is testing us to see if we remember the promise that he spoke. And we have to shake off the attacks. We have to shake off any words or anything that's been spoken at us and just remind ourselves of the truth. Like, no, God said back on the boat that I'm going to stand before Caesar, that I'm going to have this awesome experience, and I'm going to share the gospel in places like that. And I feel like in this time right now, God wants to encourage you to remember those things that he said, to remind our hearts of the promises he's spoken. I have to trust what his word says over the word of anything else in this world. So be encouraged. Bless you. You guys are amazing. And stay tuned. We'll see if baby Kai comes soon.